Mexico sits in what many people term Central America, although it is still technically North America. Mexico and the United States have a long and often checkered history, but what if they merged? Hello and welcome back to Life's Biggest Questions. I'm your host Rebecca Felgate, and today I'm asking, what if Mexico joined America? Of course, by America we mean the United States of America. That's just how YouTube titles work. Don't dwell on it. Before we launch into this video, I just want to ask you guys whether or not you think Mexico should be part of the USA. I look forward to the fruity comment section. So, Mexico and the United States. Mexico was under Spanish rule until 1810, while the USA escaped British rule in 1776. The two neighboring countries share a lot of history, and indeed, large parts of the United States used to be Mexico. California, Nevada, Utah, large parts of Arizona and New Mexico, and a little bit of Wyoming were once part of Mexican territory. But historical events such as the Louisiana Purchase and the Mexican-American War divided up the land. If history tells us anything, we know that borders are fluid. So, what if Mexico became part of the states? Firstly, if Mexico did join the United States, what would happen to the land? Mexico is 1.964 million square kilometers, so over 4 times the size of the United States' biggest state, California. Would Mexico be a superstate or divided up into several smaller states? If the latter happened, I'm not sure the people of Mexico would be such a fan of the division of their identity. But of course, part of that would already have been sacrificed in a merger with the states. Speaking of identity, the states would have 127.5 million more Spanish speakers entering the fold. American English would still be the most spoken language, but with the percentage of Spanish speakers hugely increased, this would be enough to declare the states a bilingual country. Things like street signs would be in 2 languages, especially in the South. The population of the United States would rise to 453.2 million, although this wouldn't change the world population rankings for the USA, who would still be 3rd behind China and India. However, with Mexico now annexed, Japan would rise to take its spot as the 10th most populous country in the world. How would current citizens of the United States feel about welcoming in 127.5 million new people? Well, I imagine some would be pretty mad. I'll let you imagine what they might look and sound like. A lot of people would feel their culture is under threat, although the United States is already comprised of a whole wealth of cultures anyway. Others would be worried about jobs and space, but with the additional 1.964 million square kilometers of land, there would be potential for economic growth in American cities. New American cities. Would cities be renamed, or would they stay in Spanish? There already are a number of Spanish-named towns and cities in the South anyway. Circling back to the economy, Mexico does have a lot of natural resources, with oil being the main player. On top of that, Mexico has iron ore, copper, phosphate, gold, and diamonds. There is also a lot of room for agriculture. Let's also consider the new shape of the United States. The new mammoth country would have domination over the Gulf of Mexico, which would have many benefits, especially in terms of fishing and coastline tourism. Until things got going and the economy was stimulated, merging Mexico and the United States would create a new poverty line in the states. The average family income in Mexico is below $5,000 a year, which would mean massive transfer payments and subsidies for the new states, which would hurt the existing ones. I don't imagine that would be popular. A big question on a lot of people's lips would be crime, and specifically the manufacturing and distribution of narcotics. Many people think that the DEA could stamp out crime given the opportunity, but if crime in poorer states of the USA is still an issue, then how exactly would the states straighten out new problem areas? What would this new country be called? Mexico? Anexico? Mexmerica? Where would it stop? If Mexico joined the United States, would Trump's wall instead be on the border of Guatemala? Would Canada also join this new super USA? Perhaps instead of merging as a country, Mexico would become like Puerto Rico, an unincorporated territory of the USA, but somehow I don't think that would fly. Ultimately, I imagine most people would feel uneasy about a merger. Both countries have their own issues as they are. Would they really be resolved by centralizing power? The good thing about questions like that of today's video is that they spark so many other questions. I think that we will leave this one here for now, but I would love to hear what you guys think. What do you think would happen if Mexico joined America? Are you Mexican? Are you American? Would you be up for this or against it? Let me know in the comments section down below. Thank you guys for tuning into this episode of Life's Biggest Questions. Please do hit that big beautiful thumbs up button and click on the notification bell. For now, I'm your host Rebecca Felgate. I'll catch you in the next video, but until then, stay curious, stay alert, and never ever stop questioning.